Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to be getting ready, putting some makeup on, and I'm going to be discussing what's going on here in the good old Lone Star State. So there's basically one case in particular that I have an opinion on, and I wanted to discuss it, and that is the case of Shelley Luther, who is a salon owner here in Dallas who basically defied the court orders that have been put in place in many states to fight this pandemic that's going on. So yeah, I am just going to be putting on makeup as I normally would, and just, you know, talking to you guys in the process, because like I said, I have an opinion as others, and it's just one that I'd like to share. Again, a little bit of backstory on this case. So it's a woman, and I'm gonna put her picture right here. A Caucasian woman named Shelley Luther. Now, Shelley Luther is a salon owner here in Dallas. And basically what she did was defy the court orders put in place that says that those types of businesses are not essential at this time, and were forced to close. So of course there were, you know, she isn't the only one that has been affected by this whole crisis and pandemic. Of course there are millions of people out there who have been impacted, but her reason for doing so, what she told them, was that she has to feed her family, basically. So of course when they saw that her establishment was opening or open and running, they told her to shut it down, pretty much, and she refused. She refused to shut it down for the same reasons as I just stated. She said that, you know, she had a family to feed and that she would not shut it down. So they ordered a restraining order against her, which would basically, you know, force her to shut it down. And, you know, she was arrested for defying these orders. So when she went to court, and the judge that was over her case is District Judge Eric Moyer. If I'm looking down, I did take notes so that I can keep on topic, get everything straight. But anyway, this judge gave her the option to basically apologize for defying these orders that were put in place to protect citizens and for the benefit of everyone, and basically apologize, saying that, you know, she opened with carelessness and selfishness. You know, she was thinking about herself and not the well-being of the community as a whole, and once again she refused. So before her sentencing, back up just a little bit, she was also given a $7,000 fine for opening up. So that's another thing. So this wasn't the, you know, the jail sentence wasn't like the end all thing. Like I said, she was given a fine, a hefty fine at that. So all of those chances given to this woman, they told her to shut it down in the beginning. They ordered a restraining order against her to shut it down. They gave her a fine. Again, she was still defiant. She did not listen. She continued to have her business open down to the very last minute when she was sentenced to 7 days in the county jail. So she was sentenced to 7 days in the county jail, and the district attorney, his name is Ken Paxton, oh sorry, not district attorney, the attorney general, Ken Paxton, had something to say about it. He basically sent a message to the judge that was involved, basically stating that what they were doing was an abuse of his privilege, is what he felt like, and that she should not be jailed for trying to feed her family. Okay. And then the judge, along with a couple of other judges, sent a message back basically stating that him butting in, giving his suggestions on what he thinks they should do, is an abuse of power on himself, and basically to stay out of it. I'm going to try to stop saying basically, but to stay out of it. Like, this is none of your concern. We're handling this on a local level. Leave us alone. We are within our rights. And the judge was within his rights to sentence her to jail after he had given her numerous attempts and ordered her to shut down, and she defied every single last one of them. So how's an abuse of power if jail time is one of the stipulations that are there that could happen if you defy these orders? So they sent that letter back, and then the governor got involved. Good old Governor Greg Abbott got involved. And again, he basically felt the same way and was like, no, she needs to be released. She needs to be released. So he got involved, and what he did was modify the executive order that was put in place to state that the defying these orders could not be punishable by jail time. And the effect date for this modification would go back to April 2nd. So basically saying anything that happened within, that time, he's going back and rearranging it all the way up to April 2nd. So release her from jail now, because I changed my executive orders and jail time is no longer an option. So what we have here so far, okay, we have a woman who used the mere excuse of, I have a family to feed, as if there aren't millions of people who have had to file for unemployment, as if there are not millions of people who have been affected by this pandemic, as if there are not millions of people in this very same predicament of needing to feed their families, but they are not out there defying court orders. They're not defying the law. So, I mean, that's all she had to say to receive all of this attention and sympathy and support. I mean, it's honestly quite ridiculous. And another issue with this, on why it's so ridiculous, is that in Laredo, Texas, if you're not from Texas, Laredo is a town that is predominantly Hispanic. So in Laredo, Texas, there were two women, and I have their names written here: Anna Isabel Castro Garcia and Brenda Stephanie Mata. So these two women were jailed back in April for operating and offering nail and eyelash services, basically out of their home. So again, they were defying these orders as well, and they were jailed. So one of the biggest differences, the biggest discrepancy here with this case, aside from the fact that these two women are Hispanic and Shelley Luther is a Caucasian woman, is that these two women did not receive nearly the amount of support, if any. They didn't receive any type of support. This is so, it's so irritating, you guys. The Attorney General was not sending letters to the judges that, sentenced them any type of letter saying, hey, these two women need to be released. They were just trying to feed their family. This is so unethical. Governor Abbott did not change the ruling for them, to be released, because again, this is unethical. Why would we do this in the middle of a pandemic? Why are we jailing people? Store owners for wanting to feed their families. Why are we jailing them? No. They didn't receive any of that. Not at all. Not at all. And on top of that, Shelley Luther has other people coming out that have offered to pay her $7,000 fine too. So I'm not sure what the other women, if they received a fine or anything like that, I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is that nobody came out and said, hey, let me take care of these fines for you. I totally understand you were just trying to feed your family. Let me help you. No, I do know that. So, where was I? Yes. So the Greg Abbott goes in and changes his orders and supersedes it all the way to April 2nd. In his statement that he put out, he basically said that in doing so and modifying his executive orders, that it would help, get these people out of jail. And, basically he threw the two Hispanic women's names in his little poor me speech about how he's, changing this order for the benefit of everybody. But in reality, this order wasn't put in place for the benefit of everybody. This order was put in place for this specific woman, and it just so happened that she wasn't the only one that was jailed, and in the end it helped out everybody else too. But don't sit up here and make it seem like you did it for them, because you did it. You did it for this particular woman. So, and then on to the next point with this whole thing is that this woman also has a GoFundMe that was set up. I do not believe that the GoFundMe was set up by her. I think that it was set up by some other individual, but on her behalf type of thing. And so yes, this was set up for her, and this GoFundMe has raised over $400,000. Did you hear me? $400,000 for defying court orders, breaking the law, after being given numerous amounts of time to, hey, just close it down. You are not the only one out there that is suffering. You're not the only one out there who has children that they need to take care of that is being severely hindered because of this pandemic. You're not the only one. But for some reason, she got all of this attention, all of this support. She got the governor of Texas to go and redo his executive orders to basically benefit her so that she could be released from jail. This right here, to me, is the most obvious display of white privilege that there can be. I mean, it just is. And if you can't see the blatant white privilege that this woman has, or if you were ever confused about what white privilege is and does it exist, yes, it does. It very well does. And this is what that is. Prime example of what that is. Because I guarantee you, my man who had to go and cut his own hair because he couldn't go to his cousin's house to get a haircut, he's a barber, and his cousin ain't going to the barber shop to work. He's black. I guarantee if he said, oh no, just, forget about them orders, man. Just come on, you need a haircut? Come on, I got you. I got family to feed. It's all good. We're going to defy these orders. I got family to feed. Come on. Guarantee you. No. He will not be getting any type of support. Mr. Abbott would not be calling for his release or modifying his orders for his release. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. So it's disgusting. It's irritating. I don't know why she's getting all of this attention, again, for breaking the law. Blatantly breaking the law. But for some reason, this was cause for such a huge reform. So I don't agree with this. I think it's BS. And, you know, she mentioned, oh, she's got to feed her family, things like this. And I got to put my salon, the people that work in my salon back to work. I hope that they see some part of this $400,000 that has been raised for this woman who all she did was break the law and defy the orders that were put in place for everybody to abide by. But for some reason, she's special. And we, like I said, I'm asking this question, but we already know why she is so special. And it's just so disheartening to know that this was even a thing. Because like I said, if this was anything else or anyone else, this would not have been a thing. We've already seen it with the 2 Hispanic women. This was not a thing. This was not a thing. But here you go. So that's really what I wanted to come on here and vent about. And so yeah, I'm just finishing up my makeup now at this point, you guys. I am really curious to see what you guys think. If you live in Texas and have heard about this, I'm curious, you know, what do you think about your leaders here in the great state of Texas? What do you think about that? And you know, if you are not in Texas and have not heard of this case, have there been any instances where you guys live where you seen or heard about store owners or anything like that being jailed? I'm very, very curious to see if, you know, this is something that's going on in other states. I'm not sure, so fill me in on that. And do you think that the judge was wrong in this case? Do you think the judge who sentenced her, and mind you, the judge is African American. I'm not saying that has anything to do with the fact that they were so outraged and thought that it was such a huge abuse of power, but I have to, you know, put that in there too, because it is relevant. Race is relevant in this case because, like I said, it's obvious, very obvious why she received the type of attention and support that she has. Blatantly obvious. So anyway, you guys, I am going to finish up my makeup here, and then I'll come back and show you guys the finished look in just a minute. Alright, you guys, so I just wanted to come back and show my finished makeup. It is just a very natural everyday look, something that I would, again, just wear every day. Like I said, main point of this video was to get this story out and hear you guys' opinion when it comes to Shelley Luther and the outcome that has come from this case. So I'm not sure if I mentioned, but also not only did Governor Greg Abbott step in and, you know, modify his previous orders, but the Supreme Court of Texas also did step in as well to have her ordered to be released from jail. So yes, you guys, this case went all the way up to the Texas Supreme Court, and she is now a free woman. So all in all, do I feel like she should have been locked up? I really don't know. I really don't have an opinion on that. But like I said, my main concern is that, hey, jail time was one of the things that was on the table if someone was to defy these orders. So Mr. Abbott, if you felt like, this was just unethical and shouldn't be being done to these business owners during this time, then you shouldn't have never put it in there to begin with. And if that was the case and you were just so, overwhelmed with, grief and just agony that this was going on to the great citizens of Texas, those two Hispanic women, and I will say their names again, Ana Isabel Castro Garcia and Brenda Stephanie Mata, those are citizens of Texas too. So what about them? Why didn't they get any attention when they were thrown in jail for doing what they did? For the very same reason that Miss Shelley Luther did what she did. Hey, I need to feed my family. I need to open up shop. They both defied orders. So what's the difference? The difference is that Miss Shelley Luther is a white woman. This was all prejudice. And the fact that the judge was a black man that sentenced her. If this was anyone else with a different complexion, this case would not have gone all the way up to the Texas Supreme Court. They would be jailed, do their time, pay their fines, get out, and go on about their merry way. You would not hear about them again. You wouldn't. And that is just to put it plainly. So I just want people to realize that going out there, voting, are very important. It is very, very important. Because the current people that you see in power in your state and all of that, your cities, whatever, 9 times out of 10, they don't care about you. They don't care about people that look like me. They don't care about people that look like Miss Anna and Miss Miranda. They don't care. They do care about the well-being of people that look like Miss Shelley Luther, though. And it's sad. Like, it's really sad. And again, there's a GoFundMe that raised over $400,000. Do I need to carry on? Do I need to carry on to show you the blatant discrepancies of what went on with this woman versus the other 2 women? I mean, it's all very clear. So again, like I said, I just want to know you guys' opinion. It's just something that I had to vent on and get off my chest because, like I said, I think it's just absolutely ridiculous that that case even got that far, to have all of these higher ups step in for someone who just blatantly disobeyed the law. There was no one else needed to step in. It was handled at the local level, and that's where it should have stopped. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave some comments. Please subscribe, like this video. I want to do more and continue to make more commentary. I haven't posted on this channel really because I was basically confused on what I wanted to do. I know I love makeup, but I also know that I have opinions, and you know, I just have a whole bunch of interests. So this channel is just going to be a mix-up of whatever I want to put out there. So again, contact information for me, follow me on Instagram. It's EverythingJaz below. Yeah, so anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.